Hey everybody, this is Dina with Wispy Willow Homestead, and today I am going to attempt to move the somewhat mobile coop project that I've been uploading a little bit of information about as I went along onto the trailer and move it across the yard and dump it into the fenced in area where we're just going to probably leave it for the winter months, because right now we're at the very end of September, just a few days left in 2025. And so we want to make sure that all of our birds are in a secure location. So we've got some nice 6-foot fence out there, and even though the coop isn't 100% secured, we haven't finished up the doors, and the top chicken wire isn't secured to the bottom. I'd like to get hardware cloth on there ultimately, and the roof, I want to secure these. Let me point at those little ones. But I have lost my packet of screws that I bought for that project, and so it is what it is. I just want to get those birds out of my pole barn before another day goes by. If you feel it, you know. So anyways, what I'm going to do is, I have not tried this at all, but I know that the weight of the coop is probably a little beyond the threshold of what I should be lifting. And so what I'm going to do, since I'm by myself, is I'm going to try to overcome the weight by utilizing leverage. So I am going to use some T-posts, those steel posts with the, I think they're about 4 feet or so long, and I had a gap underneath the frame anyway, so I slid couple of those under there. I'm going to see if I can lift that and then put a little block of wood underneath, and then I'll leverage the sides and get some manual jack stands in place there, and then once the sides are up, perhaps I can lift it a little bit further, whether I need to use my floor jacks or whatnot to pump up the front end. Then I'm going to hopefully be able to have enough front end lift that I can just literally pull my trailer with my vehicle trailer back underneath the coop, and hopefully just pull it right back up on there. If I can jack up the backside in a similar way, and then once it's on there, then the offloading should be the easy part, because all I need to do is yank it off. And I do have the vehicle winch to help me out if I need a little bit of help with that. So let me get this thing done. I'll say first of all, I do have a weight bench, or excuse me, yeah, I wish I had a weight bench. I have a weight belt on to protect my back. I'm going to lift with my legs, and I've also chosen, because my hands are a little sensitive, to wear some of these are insulated wintertime gloves, and so they have a little bit of padding with the insulation so that the T-posts don't hurt my hands. So anyways, without further ado, don't mind me, here we go. Let's try this out. So should have had these maybe a little bit further apart. So I'm going to choose my back towards the thing, lift up. Oh, that was too far. Get that block of wood under. And actually, I think one-handed operation is going to do for this. Let's see how high we can. Well, actually, let's put it right there and try the sides. gotten it off kilter, unfortunately, but so it's quite tippy. I'm gonna assess the situation, take a little breather for a second. Okay, so I don't like the way that it's so tippy and unstable on those jack stands. The floor, or the ground rather, here at the pole barn is on a slant anyways, and I don't want to get hurt or to break something else, so I am moving on to the floor jack right here. It's a speed lift 3-ton, and so it's more than capable, and it's on wheels, so if I can get it popped up, maybe I can draw the front back in alignment with where my trailer's at so that it'll be easier to set up. So anyway, let's see if we can get a little bit more height so that I can get the trailer to get right underneath it, because the deeper I can put the trailer underneath it, the more easy that I have for loading. So here we go again. Take 2. There we go. A little less than centered here. This old Jack's a geezer. Stand. Get those as deep as possible. It's going to prevent it from tipping over. And that's the end of the jack. So all right. See if she holds. Needs a little bit of grease. All right. So, unfortunately, I think that's about as high as I'm getting it right here. I need to figure out how we're going to pop that up, and in the meantime, I'm going to position the trailer. Well, actually, I'm having pretty good success over on the side here with popping that side up. It does tweak the frame just a little bit, but I'm not too worried about that. It's pretty secure and whatnot, so I'm just lifting that up, pushing the jack stand back a little further every time and lifting its little extender arm, and we're going to just do this on both sides. So I might go just a couple more pumps on this side and then move over to the other side here. Should have used my leg. All right, I'm gonna bring the car around. All right, so fair warning, this next part is going to be probably extremely loud because I'm going to back my trailer up on this gravel with the gate down. And so don't try this at home, kids. I'm gonna try to scoop that underneath and not displace the jacks and just take it one step at a time. So let's see how well I can back up a trailer on camera. Well, that's about as far as I can get from there. Let us see what we can do. You can't see it on the camera, but at this point it seemed really wise to hold the front frame with a very heavy chain to the trailer, because the last thing I want to do is have the whole thing flip onto its back and figure out what I'm going to do. All right, so I'm glad I had a little bit of an extension on the jack stand arms, because now I have placed a block of wood on one side underneath the frame as far back as it would allow, so that I don't lose any lift from the front when I do this. But I'm going to remove the jack stands and lower those jack arms and then lift the back. So I'm also realizing that the front is going to drop when I do that. So let me place something under the front as well to stabilize my lift. All right, here we go. Alright, some technical difficulty. Rinse and repeat. I had to get those jack stands down. I thought they were stuck. It was just I was being a little easy on them. Had to get those dropped, and then I put the jack stand behind that pinned position, and I lifted up the far side. You can see it's at an angle a little bit now, and I'm going to raise up this side that we're on here, and then hopefully back that trailer back in. Still don't know what I'm going to do about the front end wanting to drop. So I think what I might do is, if I can then lift the front higher while it's on the chain and secured, possibly I could put a 2x4 over the trailer so that the top stays up. We'll see how that goes. Still don't feel good about the way this is sitting. Once I destabilize it by jarring the front pin, so to speak, the whole thing is probably gonna roll around on those back blocks, and then I'd lose all the progress I made. I definitely think any delays that you encounter trying to restabilize it before doing anything risky, it will pay off so much in the long run. So take the extra time, make sure everything's secure, make sure it's not going to drop on you, and all of these things. It happens every day. So got a big stump under the back here. Wanted to make sure, because it is tippy still towards this side, that once I displace any of the weight, that when it drops or moves, it's not going to fall over on its side either and break the structure I've spent all this time putting together. And to solve up here, what I'm trying to do is I took two smaller logs that are relatively similar in size, and they're pretty round without bump outs and whatnot, and I put those sideways underneath the two pieces of frame that are going to potentially drop down. And what I'm hoping is that if they drop on the logs, that then the trailer will be able to continue to go underneath, and the logs will roll the structure as it comes forward. So let's see what we have here. Reposition the chain. Looks like everything's moving, so let me drop one more. All right. So that doesn't look great. It's twisted, and the trailer's gonna hit the box in a moment. All right, taking my time with it, no regrets. I've repositioned it, made sure it's nice and square, and reinforced the blocks under the back, and it's really nice and straight in now. Possibly if I had backed up the trailer a little bit straighter and hadn't had that initial tweak there, it would have been perfect. But anyways, I am going to, oh, and I repositioned the rollers when I moved it. The frame was right on the edge of those, and I had to use the leverage again to lift the frame and reposition the roller. And so, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and back up a little bit more and see what happens. All right, we might have to winch it on there the rest of the way. All right, I've been up to this for a little bit longer than I wish I was. And here's what I'm up to. So I took a little bit of a break here, tried to figure out what was going on, how to resolve this. I've still got it chained up in the front to make sure it doesn't tip or anything else. But you can see it's still not really secured in the back, and I had all these things put under the back area here to kind of secure it, but then as I back the trailer up, the gate is pushing those things, and I don't know if you can see the soil is all crunched up because it just was pushing them back, and at like 6 to 9 inches of pushback I was like, okay, I'm not making any progress. So what I've done, as you can see here, I've taken a couple of 2x4s, and what I'm doing is I'm supporting this with a span. So this is like a structural lift that we're doing here with bracing it up, and I put these two 2x4s on end that makes the fibers in the wood a little bit more structurally stable, and then placing 2 of them together makes it more like a 4x4. And so I clamped those together to make that 2x4 into a 4x4-esque lifter, and braced it on either side of the lift gate. So now the lift gate isn't going to be, oh, you got to check out this heron here. Check out that guy. He likes to live out on the creek there. So by placing the pins here on the outside of the gate, now I can pull the gate further back in, deeper underneath the coop, and hopefully get that pulled a little bit further into the trailer, because all the heavy end is out the back end. And so what I need to do now is just get it a little bit further in, and then I can move it. I don't even care if the gate is up. It's going to scrape up the yard, but I don't care about long. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to back this thing up here, and what's going to happen is these back 2 jack stands are going to be pushed out once that gate pulls back about 3 inches, and those will be pushed out, and the whole thing will probably drop on top of that pseudo 4x4 here. So let's see how this goes. Foiled again.